I think it's a numbers issue. Look at the numbers you have in Parliament today of the opposition parties, and look at the number you have of the ruling party. And personally, the Workers' Party believes at this stage in our evolution, at least one-third of the House should be in opposition hands. And the reason was actually crystallized, and many Singaporeans understood why that was important when the Constitution was amended in 2016 for the Reserve Presidency. There was a lot of unhappiness on the ground for a variety of reasons. And I think that is important for people to understand. When you want to change an important piece of legislation like the Constitution, you need that heft in Parliament to make your voice heard. And our proposition to voters has always been, it is in your self-interest that Parliament is balanced, so that the legislation, the laws have your imprimatur, have your mark. And people's feedback are seriously taken into account.
I think we take very seriously, as we explained, our role in formulating alternative policies. As Ru underscored earlier on, a lot of our policy suggestions ultimately bubble up from the bottom. So we're informed by feedback that we receive from our multiple house visits that all of us do on a regular basis. And of course, when we formulate a policy, we structure it and design it in the way that we think best aligns with both our party's philosophies as well as what would cater best to Singaporeans. Now, of course, the actual implementation of that may deviate, but I think if you look at it honestly and from a balanced point of view, you will come to the conclusion that the spirit of a lot of the ideas that we put forward ultimately do get taken up in some form or other. So we won't per se claim credit, but I think we leave Singaporeans to judge. And in the end, that's the most important thing. Whether they were proposed by us or by someone else, in the end, if the policy that comes to fruition is something that matters to Singaporeans, that benefits Singapore. And that's why we are there in Parliament.
Honestly, I think I mentioned earlier, we are really all part of the team. So, when times are hard, the team comes together, and I think there's been no better illustration of this as when, when I was on maternity leave. I think there was a lot of concern whether, because obviously when you go on maternity leave, the residents are a bit worried about what's going to happen, who's going to serve them. But, I was incredibly grateful that, Pratham had actually come up with a plan and said, look, the entire party will stand behind you. We are going to arrange it so that all our CEC members, our other MPs, sitting MPs, will actually come in and on a rotational basis make sure that someone is always there and always available to our residents. And I think this is something that he literally just said to me, go have your child, bond with them. That's the most important and most precious thing in the world. So honestly, I was personally so grateful for that. And there was none of that. Oh, when are you coming back? When are you coming back to work? But it was literally like, just make sure that you're okay first, your family is okay, and then the WP family will look after everything else for now. So I think to be honest, knowing that we have colleagues who are actually not just MPs but the wider WP team, the wider WP family behind us, I think that is really comforting. And even having our residents as well coming up to us and just also showing that kind of concern, I think it's really what keeps us going every day.